All right, everybody, good evening. Call the meeting to order. So moved by Alan and second by Josh that this meeting be open at 6:01 p.m. On favor? Carried. And the adoption of the agenda. So moved by Alan and second by Josh that the agenda for the Emergency Services Committee meeting for January 20th, 2025 be approved as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? No. The adoption of the previous minutes, so moved by Josh and second by Alan. That the minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held December 16th, 2024 be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Any presentations or delegations? Any staff reports?
Yep. Okay. So this report highlights activities of the volunteer fire department from December 12th, 2024 to January 16th, 2025. The purpose of this report is to keep committee and community informed on fire services. Operationally, we are currently standing at 15 operational members. In this time period, we responded to 12 calls. We responded to 12 calls for service, 11 of those being medical calls, one of them being a structure fire. 2024, we finished the year off with 66 calls in total, and calls to date this year, we're looking at 4 already. Regular weekly training. It was quiet for the end of December as our guys were on vacation for a couple of weeks. We gave them some time to recoup, spend with their families. So into this year, we've truck inspections, truck cleanup and restock. So just make sure that after the structure fire we had, that everything we had off for cleaning got put back either into the truck or into our spare equipment. PPE was all checked over. Our PPE's back from in service after the structure fire. That's all been cleaned. As usual, clean the holes, sweep the floors, wash the trucks. Special training, our fire prevention officer completed his in-class portion of legislation. Updates from the fire chief. So station 2, we started last year. We've got some material to build lockers into the office there so that we get our gear off the floor away from the carcinogens of the trucks. So in the name of cancer prevention. Station 1, we're in the process of moving all of our lockers off the floor into the hallway. We've got, I believe, 9 lockers in there now, and we've got the material to build the additional lockers. SOPs, policies, they are under review. I have them on my desk and I've been going through them slowly, highlighting things, seeing where we need to proceed. Fire queue, we are using it. The guys are adapting very well to it. Data input is happening. All of our gear is being moved over to that. All of our reporting now, we're about 90 to 95%. All of the reporting is being done right on FireQ app instead of paper, which is good. The guys are using it. The guys are understanding it. It's making things easier. That's where I got all this data from. With 3 clicks, I had all of that data ready to put on to here. Fire prevention, again, it's ongoing during our calls. Smoke and CO alarms are actually inspections. Our fire prevention team is doing tonight. They're going out, so they're starting 6, a bunch of them, and they're going to go hit the Pine Lake area and kind of do some of those. Our fire prevention officer is building a 2025 calendar of events, and he is also in the process of putting together a plan to complete the whole township within the next 2 years. Community involvement, we haven't had anything so far, but we do have the Family Day event up and coming.
I have a question.
Yep.
The FireQ app, looks like all this information, are you going back a number of years and putting history in there or just current moving forward?
So we're not putting, I hadn't planned on putting in previous. because we do all of, the data is saved in there, but all the stats reset yearly.
Okay.
So on the main page, you'll see that we're 4 calls in now. As opposed to
Is this an option to help with the use of CGIS in the mapping of calls and so on to the GIS platform?
Yeah, so absolutely, we can use this same data that we've pulled from it.
Yes.
Every time the tones drop, a report's created.
Okay.
So going forward, this data is automatically saved into it, so we can just pull it out into an Excel file instead of having to go report by report and build that. That we will have to do that for historical, but going forward, we'll be able to just pull this on a quarterly or annually basis, whatever you guys want to do, and that's how it'll look. I took out some of the information. There's actually more information that's provided when we do run these reports.
Is there an opportunity then for, say, somebody like me who's going to populate GIS to have access to the app, so you don't have to export it to Excel, I can access it directly and update the different platform?
That's entirely up to
It's something to think about,
if
right?
that's that there you can be added. Yes, that's not an issue.
We just need, if I can speak to them, or if we can all speak to the company, then we can make sure what permissions we can set, what we can do to ensure the privacy and stuff,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, so that's
I'm just thinking eliminating some manipulating of data, right?
absolutely, because we can take things from Excel and put them right into, so if we can export from Excel from here, and then it goes right into CGIS, because they can import Excel. So I think that it would be
so that we just
far more efficient, but
yeah, that's depending on how far we want to go with it. It's also as easy as a click and a click. And do we want it a PDF? Do we want it an Excel file? There's 3 or 4 different platforms we can download it as. And it would still,
yeah.
it's still nice to just review that data to make sure that there's not something, you know.
I was just thinking in real time, if you can, on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, as the events happen, you can get them transposed into CGIS as opposed to waiting 3 months and you get it done, right? And then it comes, anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Something to
so-
talk about.
And that's whichever way you want to go.
Yeah,
about it.
no,
We can just look at going forward with, on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
That just gets dumped over and sent away.
For discussion.
Whichever, yeah, we can discuss it.
yeah, how long are we in a contract with FireQ? Is it annual?
It's annually. We can cancel at any point in time. We're not locked into it, just like who's responding with, same thing.
Yeah, so I had a note about that, have we?
I
heard
reached out,
from-
I have not
who's
heard back from
responding?
them.
Okay,
I do have the bill for FireQ as well. It's in my email. I'll send it to, sorry, Santana. I'll send it over to Santana so we can get that processed. But I'm still waiting to hear back from who's responding. And they're both the same thing. They're a yearly subscription. We want to continue with it. We want to upgrade the service. There's more services through FireQ that we can add to our subscription. And they're developing more. There's a few more features coming out this year that they're looking at. And again, they can be added at any point and they kind of retro it. They work on a 365 basis.
yeah. And to Alan's point for the FireQ, I mean, I'd like to give it a little bit more time to make sure the fire department's very comfortable
Yep.
with it, and like, this is the program that you
Yep.
guys want to move forward with. But we might even be able to work between FireQ and the CGIS, that it's automatically done. We do that right now with some of our other third parties where they just automatically put the information in. And then it's all about permissions and who has access to what layers.
Yeah.
So it might be really easy to do if you export to Excel. So then there's no work for anyone to do from going forward. We just have to concentrate on the previous years and getting that information in so that we have trends.
Yeah, that's the only thing like I'm concerned with is when you do export it, there is still some sensitive information on it.
Yeah.
So that's when I did this one, all I did was just delete that cell count.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't in that portion. So that's
And
it's
I
just
think
a
that's-
review of it too, right?
I think if we work with FireQ, we can figure out exactly what information we want, and then that's the report that we we have that goes to CJS, so that there's no sensitive information that actually gets transported. It's just, here's the information that's on this report, and then that's what comes over, so you can control it.
Yeah, I don't know that we have that much control over what's in each
Customized
report.
report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it gives this, and this, right?
We would
We
have
can-
to
The-
have some policy
Yeah.
around what's sensitive and what's not, and,
Yes.
and who.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a question about the medical calls, if I can. So I know that there's different layers and different tiers in all of the medical calls.
Yep.
I don't know the difference between the tiers, and I don't know what level we respond to.
Okay. I don't know that information either.
Okay,
I've never been that in depth with dispatch as to what they tier us out to.
Okay. I'll
Um,
call dispatch then and see if I can get that information. I
Yeah.
don't know if you would know it.
No, I don't
Thanks.
have that one offhand.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, like all the medical calls, most of them are at like normal hours, which is nice. There's the one that was kind of through the night,
Couple of them, a few of them, actually.
and then most of them had you know, 3 or 4 people responding.
Yep.
That's quite a few. Okay, so receive and review update on department plan task list provided by the acting fire chief.
I'm sorry, I missed on that one. I don't have an update on our plan task. That was the one we had talked about, just. Yeah. It's sitting on the desk in the hall. I don't have an update on that. I can tell you that I haven't proceeded much with that list. I've just been trying to mitigate fire department stuff and get situated with things. I haven't pushed forward on some of those past due, other than the policies and procedures that I've been reviewing to try to get those moving forward.
I think the same itemized line was skipped in the last meeting as well, was it not?
Mhm.
So we're going now 3 months.
Do you want to bring the sheet back and have it on the agenda for the next meeting? Or? We can go through.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those are task based, right?
Yeah.
For date, like we need to. We need to make sure that there's some movement on it. Okay. Receive and review the fire department 2025 draft budget provided by the CAO and acting fire chief.
So we've not met since our last meeting to discuss or to have anything new on the budget. I know that we're looking for quotes for the trailer for the
For the theater.
yes.
Yep, okay.
I was gonna
trailer
call it
quote?
ATV, but that would be what.
UTV.
Yeah, I know we're looking for that and. I think there's something else that you wanted to purchase as well. You thought the fire department needed from our last budget meeting. Okay,
I don't remember, Nikki, 100%. I'll go back in my notes, but.
I'm just looking for those quotes.
Yep, I can get you, how many quotes do you want for that?
Oh, we typically get 3 quotes,
3 quotes?
but this is for budgetary purposes, so you know. I get at least one.
Yeah,
Concrete quote?
I can get one concrete quote rather quick.
Then once we know what the. ballpark-
DRD is quick. I just have to see what this year's prices are gonna look like. I do have 2 quotes on 2 different trailers from DRD from last year. But again, we were looking about 7,000 and 9,000.
Yeah, so we'll need to put out a quote sheet once the budget gets
Yep.
approved, yeah.
Okay.
And I think the only other thing is the training plan, so what are we training, and then what do we need to make sure we earmark the money for?
Yep.
Which we did sort of talk about
Which we
that,
did talk about that. What the big thing for this year was,
Mhm.
is our EFR again.
Yeah.
Current numbers, that's gonna change how we're looking at that budget. There'll be some extras in there for that, but
Mhm.
at this point, I'd still like to proceed with the 10 that we had talked. So,
Makes sense.
So that was, sorry, that was the quote for the fire truck.
that was
Uh,
review the
Budget.
budget draft.
So receive and review quote for fire truck. Everybody see you?
Yes, so I do have a quote for the fire truck to get fixed. So in total with all of the parts for what the work is $4,503.39 to repair the truck. The frame was bent in, so they'll straighten it out, they'll fix everything. The things that are not included in this quote, which will be in addition, are the grill light bar, the lower siren, which yes, we need. But the other one is the front upper bumper and the winch bracket and winch, because the whole front is gone. So it all needs to be replaced. So how, I guess for me, it's the front. Well, I didn't realize, so now it says front upper bumper. But it's the upper bumper and the winch. So how often do we use it, and do we need to replace it immediately?
I didn't think there was issues with the winch personally.
Okay.
The winch worked when I tried it.
Okay, it did not work when they tried it.
Okay. All right then. We have not used it to date, but that's not saying that
That's the only one, eh?
that's the only winch we have on all of our trucks. So, again, I may not use it for 5 years, but then we may go on a spree, just like our calls. We've had no calls for how long, and now 12 over the course of a month.
Right.
So that, again, that's kind of,
Okay, so I don't know anything about the winch. I don't know what the poundage was. I know nothing. So if you
Yeah.
can get me details and maybe price one out.
yep, I can,
And
and I will
and the
price
front-
the mount.
Yeah.
The mounting bracket for it.
It's as much as a trailer.
this is going to be more than.
Light bar, not so much important. And they said the siren wasn't working as well.
Yeah, the lower siren, it's smashed into.
Again, that was, I know for a fact that was working. The plastic was broke on the bottom side of it, but it was working.
Okay, oh, I can go back to say, like, do they list them because they need to be replaced because they're not working, or because they're, if there's a little bit broken on it, but.
Yeah.
We don't want broken pieces on the truck either, so. I'll
It was-
look to see
part of it
if they're
was-
functional
Part
or
of it was
cosmetic.
broken when we received that truck. When we bought that truck, it was cracked and the corner was broke off the siren to start with. So,
Okay. So perhaps they're
if
saying
it's-
cosmetic, but
yeah, if it's
Okay.
operational, that's something we can do at any point. It doesn't necessarily have to be done right away.
And probably do it in house.
And we could do that in-house.
Okay.
The winch as well, I'd like to go see the truck and plug it in and try it, because like I said, that
I had already approved the going ahead to fix the truck so we can
Okay.
get the truck back in
Yep.
service.
are they going to send the push bar and winch back with us if they're
Yeah,
not putting
I'll
it
put that
back
in.
on? If they return it and we can try this stuff, and
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, then we can proceed with a different way. If it does, then all we need is the push bar with the mounting bracket, then
Sure.
that's gonna save us, because I believe that winch is like 35 or 40,000 pound winch. It's a heavy duty winch, so fair price for that.
Yes.
Okay, discuss the firefighters protection grant.
So at council, we did approve and we signed the agreement for the transfer payments for the grant. So we applied for 20 Viking hoods, 6 of the bunker gear, 6 bunker gear pants and coats. So it came to a total of $18,895. We only received $16,460 in total grant. So that is less $2,435, which is pretty much, I mean, the helmets were $2,900, so. We didn't get the full funding that we asked for. So if we concentrate on the 6 sets of bunker gear, which would need to be purchased, I'm thinking in March. Make sure that we have everyone, fit and.
Yeah.
Put in, and then just use what's remaining on that, because the quotes we got were 2024 as well. Anything that's remaining, then we can use toward the helmets. But it looks like the helmets weren't.
So that's, we didn't, you said flash hoods, you said Viking hoods?
Yep.
Where did the helmets come in?
It's in the wording on the thing.
Okay, I didn't, because you'd put in for the bunker gear and flash hoods.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't sure where the helmets kind of
Yeah,
come into.
the Viking hoods. Yeah. So I'm not sure how many Viking hoods we'll get.
Yeah,
Any
that's,
of that, so.
Yeah, okay.
Just to acknowledge, but the bunker gear, I think that we should. Because they were for the secondary set of the main people who can respond to a structure fire, so
Well,
we'll
between a
focus
couple,
on them.
yeah, between a couple donations and a couple grants, we should be in much better shape
Mhm.
than we were
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
as far as equipment is concerned now.
Yeah, our PPE should be.
I believe we have 2, maybe 3 personnel left that are on an old set of bunker gear. And this year's in the budget, if we have money for bunker gear, that should cover all of our guys with brand new up-to-date bunker gear between last year and this year.
Mhm.
And with the additional 6 sets that we can purchase for frontline guys,
Mhm.
then
Yeah,
we're sitting well for bunker gear. Helmets were purchased 3 years ago, so we've still got 7 on our helmets. Flash hoods, we've got a few flash hoods in. Gloves, we've got a bunch of gloves in, so I believe almost everybody is able to have a second set of gloves, and a few more flash hoods. Everybody will be able to have a second set of flash hoods so that they can send out gear, get it washed. And not have to borrow or, oh, we got a call, I'll just grab this person, if they don't show up or whatever. Everybody has their own stuff.
You know, it's just staying organized and staying on top of our asset management and looking for, you know, different grants and funding opportunities and keep plugging away, but definitely making strides in that aspect of now. Okay, so that's a resolution to be considered. No. We don't want to bring it forward to look at the remaining costs of that grant.
let's get a quote for the bunker gear 2025 prices and see if we're
Still
gonna
within that.
breach that grant amount or not.
Any correspondence? So you guys have mandatory workplace harassment training on February 24th. That's, I'm assuming is on Monday night,
Yes,
training,
Mhm.
and that's at 6 p.m.
6 to 8 in the evening. If nobody can make it, there's also a session 1 to 3 in the afternoon.
If anyone can make it.
Yes.
we may have a few issues because we do have guys that work out of town on a shift work basis, so they may not be in town that day.
So we're hopeful with a month's notice that they can coordinate to be here for the mandatory training.
So I'll put it up, I'll let them know, and
They got 2 options there for the times.
Yeah.
1 till 3,
1 to 3,
6 till 8.
6 to 8.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any closed session? So, with putting a couple of these, discussion items off, I'm wondering if we should bring in another meeting, maybe February 3rd, as opposed to waiting another entire month. I know some of these have been skipped over now, 2 sessions in a row, 2 meetings in a row. So February 3rd is 2 weeks away.
February 3rd is recreation and corporate services as well.
Yeah, but Rex early, 5
Corporates, it's
at 7,
I was gonna do 6 weeks.
at 7.
Okay, it's 7,
And then this can be our regular 6 o'clock.
okay.
Just we need traction on this stuff. We can't just keep skipping it over, right?
Mhm.
So we'll move it to February 3rd. At 6 p.m. And then our next scheduled one. Help me out, Sandra, would that be the 24th?
Third Monday.
It would be Family
24th.
Day weekend,
2, 3. So that would be
the
the
24th,
24th.
and that's the training.
Sorry, what time?
It's training.
It's the weekend of Family Day is the 24th.
No, it's the
17th.
17th,
Oh, 17th.
which is
Okay.
when our, because we use.
Or we
typically
typically
meet.
meet the 10th. Kind of meet between the two, so 3 weeks instead of 4.
I guess that makes sense, right? With the holiday and then with the training. It's messing up our regular
Mhm.
routine there. Okay, so change the 3rd to the 10th is what I'm hearing,
Mhm.
and that would be our regular February meeting. So then we'll try and get 2 in over March then to make up.
Sure.
So we're going. So our typical meeting would be March 17th. So do we want to go maybe March 3rd
2 in March.
and then March 24th? Yeah, I'm fine with going one meeting a month when it's productive.
Do you want to keep it March 17th though, or move it to the 24th? That's the regular.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna do the 17th, eh? Okay, so February 10th, March 3rd, March 17th.
Okay.
And then hopefully we're kind of caught up on track and if I may, June, I should do 1 month again on the 3rd Monday. Okay, so February 10th, March 3rd, March 17th, 6 p.m. The agendas get sent out in advance as well. So these items really shouldn't be a surprise. Right? Now that they're on the agenda. Okay. Moved by Josh, second by Alan. The meeting adjourned at 6:29 p.m. There. Motions. Excellent.